Everyone, this is Faith Howard Mooney with TMC, and this is Inside the TMC Family. And today I have with me Kevin Williamson, who is the president and COO of Compass Mortgage Inc., one of our newest lender members within the network. So thanks for doing this with me, Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
You want to share with our family that's listening a little bit about Compass and where you are and who you are?
Yeah, my name is Kevin Williamson. I'm the president of Compass Mortgage. Compass Mortgage was founded in 1999, so we've been around in October here. We've been around for 23 years now because it was founded in October. And I was not one of the founders. I came in 2002, but our CEO founded the company with a few other people with the idea that we wanted to create a great place for people to work and a great place for people to be able to get a mortgage. He was a loan officer for about 15 years prior to that happening. So we're licensed in 21 states, but do the predominance of our volume in the Northern Illinois area, Greater Chicago area.
And we were really lucky. We got to have you join us for our conference that was just in Chicago, and you became a lender member right after that. So
yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic to have you be able to experience that right out of the chute. Share with us, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Share with us what your first job ever was. You know, that kid job that started you out in the workplace?
Yeah. Well, my first job after college was actually as what I call the shell answer man for a software company, an AS400, if anybody remembers what those are, software company in the early 90s. I got a bunch of job offers out of school, but everybody wanted you to, most of them were the big 6 or big hit accounting firms. And they wanted you to go back to school for 6 months, and I was done with school. So I got a job offer to work on a helpline in 1992 for a company because nobody knew what a PC was, and I did because I had just graduated from college and happened to have one. So that was the qualification for that job. And that's where I got from Arizona, where I went to school, to Chicago.
Lots of learning lessons in those first jobs that we all have out of there. I imagine that you learned a lot about helping people that didn't know what they were doing, and maybe a little bit about patience.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've learned the patience issue yet, but I'm working on it.
It's not one of my great assets either. I'm a little bit impatient sometimes. So then from there, so you end up in Chicago. So how did you get into the mortgage space?
Well, I went on from there to be a consultant in the software arena, and I was a software developer and a project manager of software developers traveling all over the country. And we sold our company, and I was looking for, I fulfilled my employment contract, and then I was looking for a job where I didn't have to travel because we were starting to have kids. And, you know, I had a little bit of time to figure it out. I wasn't in a rush. At the same time, I was on the board of a church. And a friend of mine was also on the board of the church, and he was the founder of Compass Mortgage. And he knew I was looking for something to do. And we were driving to a golf outing one night behind everybody else, our friends, because we were back doing a church interview. And we start talking, and he's like, look, I'd like you to come be my chief financial officer. And I'll give you a little backstory. I was the guy on the deacon board at the church that was really frustrated when the church would give you a bunch of numbers that didn't add up. I don't like things that don't add up. Right? So
that goes back to the patience part.
Exactly. I would re-add up the numbers. And so he knew I balanced the church's checkbook, basically. He knew I could do that. So, you know, he had a mortgage company for about 2 years. He's like, you want to come be my CFO? I'm like, I'm a technology guy. You're going to make me your CFO just because I can balance the checkbook? He's like, yeah. So, okay. So I came to do that, started as a CFO, worked my way through different parts of the organization, and have been the president since 2014.
Fantastic story. It's always those friends. It's those friends or your parents or somebody that kind of holds true throughout all the stories that I hear in the mortgage industry that get you in, and then you never leave.
Yeah.
If you weren't, or back in those days when you started, you're going to be a new CFO for this company. Is there one thing about mortgage that you wish you would have known that anybody coming into the industry you think would be important for them to understand and not have to learn on their own?
Well, it doesn't actually apply right now because this market that we're in right now is so crazy that everything's on its side. But the funny thing, like when the bust happened in 2009, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you're in the mortgage business. Are you okay?" And obviously, we weathered the first few months, but after that, the competition went away. The government propped up interest rates. I mean, it was a good time, but because the economy was having trouble, people come to you and go, "Are you okay?" And you're like, you got to, yeah, we're doing fine. And you can't tell everybody, yeah, when the economy does poorly, we tend to do well.
Yeah.
The flip side is when the economy is doing poorly, and we depending on what the situation is, we can kind of do well this year aside in any marketplace, because if there's people to refinance and rates are down, those types of things. So you're kind of out of cycle a little bit with the rest of your friends, and I never understood that was the case before.
That is so true. Having been through a number of them myself, this one just seems a little bit different than all of the other ones.
For sure.
If you weren't in mortgage, what would we find you doing?
I would still be. I loved my job before mortgage. Technology consulting, software development, project management. It requires a lot of travel. You got to go where the work is. And, when I had kids, that wasn't possible. And now that I'm getting older, I'm not sure I'd enjoy the travel as much. But I get to dabble in technology here. We're a fairly technology intensive company for our size, largely because of my background and some other people that we have here that have excellent technical backgrounds. But that's what I would be doing. I love software development.
All right. One last little easy random question. When you're not working, what's your favorite thing to do to relax?
Well, I don't get to do it as much as I like, but scuba diving. I'm a scuba diver. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So have you had a lot of opportunity to do that over the years?
Yeah, I mean, like once a year, sometimes not once a year, but we recently purchased a place in Florida, so we'll get to do a little bit more of that. But there's nothing like being underwater for a long period of time. It's just peaceful down there. There's a whole lot to look at. It's not what you're used to. It's if you haven't tried it, you should definitely give it a shot.
That is fantastic. That's a great little nugget to learn. We appreciate you. I was telling you before we hopped on the call today that I was just so impressed at our conference that you got into a room and a situation where everybody was needing to share an idea and you just immediately hopped in. And that doesn't happen all the time. I was so excited when that happened. It's like, oh, they're a really great fit already, and they haven't even truly.
Well, after I've been a member for a while, you'll be wishing I shut up. So
highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. But we appreciate you and your team just jumping in right away. It's been great so far, and just know that we will do anything that we can to help you.
Great. I appreciate that. We're looking forward to being part of it.